So this is Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku versus EU Luke Skywalker at his Grandmaster stage. All right, so I'm going to be arguing that Luke Skywalker has the AP to either contend with or surpass Goku. He also has speed, which I'd say is superior to Goku, and I think his hacks and skill are going to outmatch Goku and be too much for him and take the win. Just to give you a reference for where he scales, I can scale him to low multiversal or universal plus pretty easily based on the ones, which I'll explain in a bit. And also based off them, with some other scaling, I can get him to multiversal plus. In terms of speed, I'd have him at the worst case, massively faster than light, but he also has inaccessible speed easily because lower tier Jedi have that, and I can scale him higher than that, even to immeasurable speed. So yeah, and just to give you a brief summary of his hacks, he has flow walking, which is basically, it's pretty much Ultra Instinct. He has obviously telekinesis, telepathy. He has force heal, force shield. He has energy absorption and deflection. He obviously has sense. He has astral projections and illusions, and yeah, more stuff than that. But that's just all I'll give in my intro. And yeah, you can do yours now.
Okay, I'll be debating for DBS manga and anime Goku, the canon version of him. I think he's higher in AP than Luke, but speed I say he's around there, possibly slower. Hacks and abilities, Goku has key manipulation. He has Hakai, which erases people just from touching them. Yeah, that's about it for his abilities. I'd have to find more. But yeah, I'm done with the intro.
All right, that's cool. So do you want to go over I don't know what section you want to go over, like attack potency, speed, whatever.
Let's go over attack potency first.
Cool. So do you want to make your arguments and I'll quickly find mine?
Okay. I'd say Goku is multiversal easily. He's very, very low ball to universal at least. I'd say he's multiversal because in base form, no, in Super Saiyan God form, he was about to destroy 3 different planes. He was gonna destroy Universe 7, the after the heaven, and he was gonna destroy hell with Beers in the fight against Beers. He absorbed this form into his base form, and with multipliers he's high multiversal in Super Saiyan 3.
Cool. So just to give you some basic scaling on my side. So Luke scales off the 3 beings. Well, it's actually 4, but they're called the Ones, and they're basically the gods of the Force. I'll just quickly get a picture of them. So basically, there's the Father, who's the embodiment of the Force. There's the Son, who's the embodiment of the dark side, and then there's the Daughter, who's the embodiment of the light side. And yeah, so basically, these beings were stated that. So Father, he stated that if he had to withdraw his children, the son and daughter, from temporal existence, because if by just leaving them in temporal existence, like in our universe, they would destroy it. Like they easily have universal level of attack potency. I'll get you that in a second. So yeah, so these are the ones. One sec. Here we go. So, yeah, that's who they are. So the father stated that he stated that his children could tear apart the very fabric of the universe. I'll get you that 1 second. Here we go.
Right now, are we not allowed to interrupt or?
Oh no, we can interrupt you.
Okay.
Sure. So he states that he says that they could tear the very fabric of the universe, basically just by being within the universe. And they also, so that's just scaling for universal, but they also are stated to be the fulcrum of the force, like the center point of it. I'll get you that. These are just excerpts from Clone Wars series and other stuff. So yeah, they're basically the center points of the force, and their actions can affect the force, like the entirety of the balance of the force. So yeah, here it says that they are merged with the force. And so yeah, so I can get you that why that's actually multiversal, because 1 second. Where is it? So here is a statement from a book that stated that all futures are contained within the force. Just want to look at that. And then so that's like basically all the timelines that exist within the force. And then there was also this EU comic series called The
Okay, so
Star Wars
right now you're debating
Infinities.
for him being multiversal, correct?
Yeah, multiversal. Or with this infinity scaling, this would put him at multiversal plus.
Multiversal plus. Alright, so do you want me to explain why Goku is multiversal plus?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so basically, I don't really have the feats right now or the scans, but I can explain the feats.
Sure.
So basically, Goku and Beerus were fighting. They were going to destroy Universe 7, which has two separate planes inside of it, which is heaven and hell. And they're both infinite in size. So that's easily low multiversal in his Super Saiyan God form. But he absorbed the Super Saiyan God form into his base. And with multipliers, you can get him. He's easily multiversal plus in Super Saiyan 3 form. Because in Super Saiyan 1, it's a 2 times multiplier, I believe. No, one no, yeah, 2 times multiplier. And Super Saiyan 2, should be a 3 times multiplier. And Super Saiyan 3 is a 4 times multiplier to the previous one, to the previous transformation.
Okay, cool. So would that put him at like mid multiversal level?
It's to be multiversal, you have to be able to create or destroy 100,001 universes, right? Infinite universes. So
They don't have to be
basically,
infinite, I don't think.
with multipliers at Super Saiyan 3 form, he should be able to destroy about 12,000 with multipliers from his transformations.
So how big did you say the multiplier was?
Alright, so I don't have the scans right now, but hold on, let me find it real quick.
I mean, you don't have to find it. I think, yeah, I believe you that he is. I'm sure the multipliers add up. So you say he's multiversal plus then?
Yeah, in Super Saiyan 3 form. easily.
Okay. So so I've shown you that with that first scan, it says that there are the force contains all the possible futures, and they were threatening to unbalance the force, which would be affecting all those different timelines. And then through the Infinities comic series, it says that there are um, infinite universes. So that's also multiversal plus. And just to give you a reference, his lightsaber, it says here in the scan I have here, it's an extension of himself through the force. So if you and me were to wield a lightsaber, it would just be a plasma sword, right? It wouldn't do anything. Well, it would burn someone, right? But if Luke wields it, then it basically has multiversal power because he's connected to the kyber crystal within.
So basically, the lightsaber compares to himself in AP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
that the highest you're getting them to, or can you get them? Are you getting them higher?
But then
The
multiversal
multiversal.
plus. No, I think that's pretty much where it ends without, like, I don't know,
Okay.
highballing him.
What about
So
speed? I can
yeah,
go first
sure,
in speed.
sure. So
All
wait,
right.
just one more thing. So this scan here. Okay, no, never mind. You go on speed, and then I'll explain this in a bit.
All right. So Goku is, I'd say, he's easily infinite speed because the Dragon Ball um Z the Dragon Ball Z universe is stated to be infinite, and Boo, he traveled across that universe in a finite amount of time, so that should be infinite speed. Um Inaccessible speed, he moved in erased time when Zeno destroyed it in the Goku Black saga, and Goku was moving in that erased time, so that should give him inaccessible speed. And yeah, that's where I
Okay.
max him out at inaccessible.
Okay, so I sent a scan earlier. I think it's just under the picture of the ones. It says that the father says therefore it was necessary to withdraw from the temporal world. So that tells you right there that Mortis, the world where they are, the different realm, isn't temporal. In other words, there is no time there. So that's inaccessible speed.
Inaccessible.
And then I would actually argue that he's higher because I can't find the exact scan. So this is I think this is just from a page that I found, but it states that time has no meaning in Mortis. So and it's not just like a realm without time. I'd say it's almost above time because they look down upon the force and affect it. Like everything that happens within Mortis affects the entirety of the force. I'd say that they're above the force, which could grant him immeasurable speed. And since it says that time has no meaning there, that could also provide evidence for that. Oh, but also one more thing. I don't have the scan for this either, but the father stated when when oh yeah, so the son showed Anakin a vision of what would happen to him when he became Darth Vader, and then the father erased those memories. But basically, he stated that the son was breaking the laws of time. In other words, linear time doesn't really apply to him. So he can move through time. So that would grant him immeasurable speed. And oh, sorry, I actually didn't post this one thing. But Luke, I didn't actually say how he scales to the ones, but he beat Abeloth. So he fought her a lot actually. Here's just one fight where in this fight he broke 3 of her ribs, and Abeloth, she was the 4th one. So she beats both the son and the daughter at the same time. Let me just see if I can find that. Yeah, here we go. So there was a panel that they saw like a mural on a wall, and that was of her standing above the son and daughter, and they were cowering behind the father in fear of Abeloth. And yeah, so I explained how they're multiversal and she scales above them. And he fought her multiple times, and in one punch, he broke 3 of her ribs. So yeah, he scales to her, and she has measurable speed and the multiversal AP that I explained earlier.
Okay, would you say that this is a consistent speed for Luke and measurable?
I mean, he doesn't travel through time. Like, no one really does that except the ones. But I mean, based on the fact that the ones, so Sun did that so casually, like it wasn't something he had to um, put effort into. He just showed Anakin his future. Like he was just, I break the laws of time, whatever. And then Abeloth definitely scales above him, and Luke fought her quite a few times. I can find another scan. So he would at least have very high inaccessible speed, um, based on some other stuff. But yeah, I definitely say that he scales to immeasurable, at least low immeasurable.
Okay. Yeah, all I have for Goku is inaccessible and not even high at that. So I would say Luke actually takes speed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's fine. I don't think. I mean, yeah, I definitely say Luke is faster than Goku. But do you want to move on to hacks now?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one I just sent. It's just above the thing about there not being any time in Mortis. Just above that, it says that it's his teleportation feat. So basically, he has this form of teleportation. It's basically like Ultra Instinct, except the Force teleports him instead of just like telling him where everything is. Like it teleports him into places before he knows he has to go there.
Okay. That sounds like Ultra Instinct.
Yeah.
Um Goku has instant transmission, which teleports him, which he can teleport anywhere like he he would have to recognize the place. He can't just teleport anywhere. He also has Hakai, which is a durability negator. As long as they are like what is it? As long as they're like comparable in strength. He also has um Destructo Disc, which is another durability negator, which cuts in half the opponent without any regardless of their durability. And this is shown in the Saiyan saga arc where Krillin was a lot weaker than Nappa, but the Destructo Disc was still gonna kill him because it was a durability negator, and regardless of his durability, it was gonna cut him in half.
Okay. So is that like a physical attack?
Yes, it is a physical attack.
Okay. So
Hakai is it attacks
Erasure
the
attack,
soul.
right? Okay, so this would probably neg Hakai and attack a Goku on that same level. It's basically called Beyond Shadows. Basically he fights you in the physical realm, like he is literally fighting you, but then his force essence is also attacking your force essence in the Beyond Shadows realm,
But
basically erasing you.
Goku doesn't have a force essence unless we're fighting um in equal universes.
Well, see, the force exists everywhere where there is life. So I'd argue that Goku, he might not have the force, like he might not be sensitive to the force, but I'd say that he definitely would have. I'd say he'd have a force.
Okay.
Like he'd have it's basically a life essence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like chi or something. I don't know what they have in Dragon Ball.
He also another hack Goku has is he can rip through dimensions just by screaming. This is shown in the Buu Saga arc when Gold Tanks and Buu were trapped inside the time chamber. They screamed through like a dimension to escape the time chamber.
Okay. So how would he use that?
So it's a durability negator as well.
Would he
It's
like use it against Luke just to BFR him?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Luke has an ability called immovability. I'll just get it now. So basically, he roots himself in the Force and basically becomes immovable to all external forces.
Can you explain that more?
So it says here, so it says he became the very essence of an immovable object. Like if you try to blast him, this isn't like a durability feat. It's just like an immovable feat. Like you won't be able to BFR him if he's using immovability because he'll just basically negate the BFR and just not be able to be moved at all.
Okay. So basically, it just cancels out attacks.
I think you muffled your microphone a little bit there.
So basically, it cancels out attacks, physical
No,
attacks.
not like physical attacks. So he can still be killed if he's using immovability. He just won't be able to be moved. So it's not like a durability thing.
So how does this help
Well,
him?
if Goku tried to BFR him, like teleport him away, he wouldn't be moved.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Okay. So yeah, what was the other points you had? The other hacks?
I don't see how this would be helpful in a fight, but he does have breaking the fourth wall. And affecting the real world, like our world. I don't. Would you? This could be an outer versal feat, but I feel like that's not consistent, so I won't be using that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Goku's out of Versal. I've heard quite a few debunks of that. But yeah. So what were the other hacks that you had? There was Hakai, there was the
There
dimension
was
thing.
Destructo Disc,
Oh yeah,
and
that
there was the BFR.
negates your ability, right?
Yeah.
So how does that work? Is it like a punch or something?
No, it's like a little, like disc. Um, from like it's like a key attack, and it's like a disc that cuts through opponents no matter their ability.
Right. Okay. Um so let me just see. So I would probably say that Luke would just be using his flow walking at that stage, and the force would teleport him out of the way to avoid that attack. Could he also possibly prevent that using telekinesis, like
Say it again.
by stopping it in the air using the force?
Yes, that he could probably do that.
Is it like a physical thing or is it like an
Yes, it's a
energy
physical
based thing?
attack. It's an energy key attack.
Has it ever been shown to be stopped in that method?
No, it hasn't. But I think it actually would be able to be stopped in that method. It hasn't shown any, like, it hasn't shown that it couldn't be stopped by that.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay. So I'd say he'd probably do that, or he'd probably just use he'd be using his teleportation to get out of the way. And
Okay.
also he also has an ability called Shatterpoint, which basically he views his opponent or anything he's opposing. Like it can even be like an idea that he opposes. Um, and he can see its strengths and its weaknesses as if it were glass. So, like Mace Windu used this to see what would be the quickest way to end the Clone Wars.
Okay.
So yeah,
Wait,
it's basically like a weakness detection thing.
I'm sorry. Could you explain that again?
So he basically sees his opponent um, through the Force and sees their strengths and their weaknesses. Not really their strengths, just like where to hit them. That where their weaknesses are, and not
Well,
just like physically, but also like in their abilities.
you would have to prove Goku has weaknesses for this attack, to, like clear weaknesses besides being weaker than his opponent for this.
No, I meant like with that energy disc attack, he'd probably be able to see that he can use the telekinesis on that.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
And then also like in a fight, I guess.
Goku also has paralysis inducement. He's used this against Broly. He basically just um paralyzed him for a couple of seconds, about 5.
Does he have to like get contact to do that, or how does it work?
No, he does not. I can't really explain it, but he basically stopped Broly. Like he stopped Broly with it looked as if his key took over like his key, and he basically just stopped him.
Okay. So just give me one sec. So here he has in Star Wars, a lot of abilities can be negged through sheer willpower. Like Luke was had the most willpower in Star Wars, and he can prevent a lot of attacks using that.
Wait,
So here he had this thing that was paralyzing him basically, and then it says that he just let me just see what it says exactly. Um, Few men survive such an onslaught of the overwhelming massive death, but few men are as in touch with the force. And and it says the battle of the wills is over. So basically, they were battling with their wills, and he had a high enough willpower to negate the paralysis.
but was the paralysis like was it based off of the Force?
Well, let me just see. I think it is a force being, but um, it's a nightmare demon basically. But it was attacking him psychically, and basically he just negated it through his willpower. Like there are other examples of him preventing different kinds of attacks through his willpower. Like here, this person was draining him, and I think he was unconscious or he was being drained, and then his willpower was enough to shake it off.
So do you think this would work against a key based attack?
Um, well, I mean, key is just life essence, right?
Yes.
So I'd say different forms of life essence, like the key and the force, are kind of, I'd say
So
they're interactive. Yeah.
okay. Goku also has limited space time manipulation. He was able to destroy its space time dimension.
What would that What would you say that is? Like an attack potency thing, or like a telekinesis, or
It's like it's basically space time manipulation, but it's not um as great as most users who use this. So it isn't really a great feat. I Yeah, it's not really a
so?
great feat.
Okay, so um, so the ones were stated to. They said that they could destroy. They could said that they could tear the very fabric of the universe, which would be space time manipulation as well, technically.
Okay. Um.
And I mean, he scales them. He's never like shown a space time manipulation ability. I mean, he's moved black holes. I don't know if that would count.
What about existence erasure? Has Luke ever shown any Has he shown any resistance to existence erasure?
Well, that's basically what the Beyond Shadows is.
Okay.
Because with the ones, you can't kill them except using the Dagger of Mortis. And that's why he had to use the Beyond Shadows move to kill them instead, or to kill Abeloth.
What about sealing? He has the Goku has the Mafuba, and basically he can just seal people away in this jar.
So how would that how would he use that attack? Like would he have to shoot something at Luke or
Yes.
cast a spell?
Yeah.
Is it
He
like
would
an
basically
energy
like
beam?
say again.
No, carry on, sorry.
Hold on. I'm about to find it and I'm gonna read what this says about it.
Okay. So just to just give me 1 second. Just 1 second. I actually have to go right now. Is it all right if we could maybe just pause this and then continue in like an hour or two? Would that be possible for you?
It should be, unless I fall asleep. So basically, Goku has this move called the Evil Containment Wave, and it can trap people in a jar.
Right. So
Yeah,
how does he like use it? Like, is it an energy beam that he fires at you or what?
yeah, like an energy beam he fires at you.
Okay. And how does it work being trapped in there? Does it like
So,
trap your spirit or
what do you mean?
like does it actually trap your physical body in there?
I'm pretty sure it actually traps your physical body.
Okay. And you can't just break out of it from strength.
No. Um, it has been shown to that you are able to break out of it, but only if it's not if you didn't like seal it properly.
All right, okay. Okay. So I mean, I don't really have a direct counter to that apart from Luke's precognition, you know.
Yeah.
Um that's my only I don't have like a solid counter to being BFR'd. I mean, like he has the immovability. The thing is, he's never really used that against a teleporting BFR. Like it's always been when someone's trying to like throw him off with telekinesis, and then he just is
Oh yeah.
immovable.
And I went over the I I was talking about Goku Sax ripping through time space by screaming.
Yeah,
Alright, so let me go find that so I can explain it better. Basically,
yeah.
it's spatial manipulation. It is the power to manipulate aspects of space, such as to warp, bend, flip, crush, and control space. Spatial attacks would be considered a form of durability negation, as the affect the very as they affect the very third dimension that the target is occupying, bypassing any and all physical defenses as such cannot be blocked by conventional means.
Hmm.
You want me to send you the
Yeah,
scan?
sure, you can send it.
All right.
Okay, so this is just a thing for his precog, just since I was talking about that. Here he just states that he was fighting these opponents and he found it too easy because he knew everything they were going to do before it started.
Wait, say it again, please.
He was fighting these enemies and he knew it was too easy for him to fight. And he just he said it was too easy. He knew everything they were going to do before the fight started. So that's just a thing about his precog. So I'm just seeing this.
Has the precognition ever been shown to has he ever been defeated using it?
Well, he uses it all the time. So yeah, he has been defeated before.
Okay.
Like it's not infallible, but they're pretty much. I mean, they don't use it all the time, but it's like a very common Jedi ability. Like that's how Padawans block lasers so easily and stuff. Um. So yeah, I don't. Just give me 1 second. So I didn't actually prove why, at worst case, Luke is high, inaccessible. I'm just gonna get that quickly. So he fought. Was it? That should be it. So he fought Darth Sidious, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but sorry, I'll just explain when he fought Darth Sidious. So have you watched all the Star Wars movies, right?
I have not. No.
Have you watched Episode 3?
No, the only Star Wars I watched was the little cartoon TV show version of it.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so Anakin, he's Darth Vader basically, but when he was weaker, when he was younger, he walked in and saw Darth Sidious fighting Mace Windu, right? And when he saw them fighting, he couldn't even see Palpatine. Sorry, Darth Sidious. Palpatine, whatever, it's the same thing. He couldn't see him because he was moving too fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was literally invisible. He was like fading in and out of existence. And Anakin was able to move in Mortis, which I explained is inaccessible. So Sidious himself would be way faster than Anakin, who has inaccessible. And Luke not only fought Sidious, but he actually fought a more powerful version of Sidious. So Sidious died, and then he became reborn. He like had a clone body or something, and it was basically of his prime form. So like of his strongest physical form, and he fought that version of Sidious. So that would be a much more powerful version of Sidious, and he actually beat him. So here's the
Okay.
fight, and this was also a Luke from when he was like Jedi Master level. He was still quite young here, and I'm using him at his when he was a Grandmaster, so he was at his most powerful. So yeah, Sidious would scale well above Sidious would scale to high and accessible. This is a more powerful Sidious getting beaten by a weaker Luke, and so yeah, that's just how my character scales into high inaccessible.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get Goku to omniscient. No, omnipresent. Omnipresent. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, hold on. I had to find the feet real fast. I might not have it.
So
I might have to
um,
go find it again, but I can explain it real quick, and then I'll try to
okay,
find the feet. So
okay,
basically, Zamazu, Fuse Zamazu, he he was like he was like living through all the time and all the different um all the different time, what's it called, alternate time, alternate
timelines.
time, say again.
timelines.
Yeah, alternate timelines.
How
And
does
he was
that?
basically like everywhere when he was fused.
Did Goku fight Zamasu?
Goku Jiren was stated to be above every villain that they've ever faced. So that means he would be above Fused Zamasu.
And you say Zamsu was omniscient
No, omnipresent.
or omnipresent. So would that be like he existed on all the different timelines, or he existed everywhere in one timeline?
No,
Or
through all the different timelines, and he existed everywhere. But hold on, let me go find the feet real fast.
okay.
I thought I had it earlier, but I can't find it.
I'm just gonna post this while you're looking for that. This is Luke's refilling ability, where he basically just taps into the force quickly, and he basically is instantly refilled with all his energy.
Sorry, what were you saying?
He just uses a refill ability where if he's really exhausted, he can just tap into the force and instantly get all his energy back. So that's just another
So
thing
does
that's going to
he?
help him in the fight.
So does he have like infinite stamina?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
sent you the
Yeah, I
no,
mean, I know what. Oh, sorry.
that was basically explaining what he did. I can't find the scan for it because it doesn't provide the link for it.
Right. Okay. So would you be arguing irrelevant speed for Goku?
Is omnipresent and irrelevant the same thing?
Yeah.
Oh, then yes.
Okay. Um, I mean, I don't really know. I haven't watched Dragon Ball Super, so I can't debunk that. But I can argue Luke up to irrelevant as well, if I have to. So he also has an ability called Oneness, which is basically when he becomes one with the Force, like he has access to all its power. Just trying to find this. Let me just press this. So yeah, he has access to all of the Force's power, and so it basically removes all internal limits or anything. And the force is stated to be omnipresent. So let me just cast that. So here's when he accessed oneness this one time. And I can get you when someone else accessed it, and I'll show you how it was defined for them.
Okay. All right. So right now we have them both that irrelevant.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I could also argue that Mortis, which is above time, yeah, I'd argue that it's above time itself. And the fact that it's not like the sun when he broke the laws of time, he wasn't using speed to do it. Like he wasn't traveling through time or anything. He just casually showed him another point in time, indicating that time doesn't really have a meaning to them. And that
Okay.
was also indicated in that one statement that said that time has no meaning there. So
Is
yeah, I would
that
argue that the ones have relevant.
irrelevant? Okay. Where did you have his AP at? High multiversal, right?
Yeah, multiversal to multiversal plus.
Okay. I will try to get Goku to low complex.
Okay, sure.
All right. I have to find the feet real fast. Okay, so basically, Champa and Beerus, they were both about to, when they were fighting, they were about to destroy two macrocosms,
Okay.
and affecting the space between it as well. I'd say that's low complex.
Okay. Do you have the scan of like it stating that they were affecting the space between the macrocosm?
Yes. Let me pull it up real fast. So it's basically a screen recording of a video, and I can't. The video, like, I can't screen record it for that long because um Discord like limits that. So do you want me to send you the link to the video? And I'll tell you at like what time to look at. You're muted, by the way.
Sorry. So, complex multiversal, I'm just reading here, when you can affect, create, or destroy an entirety of spaces whose size corresponds to one or two higher levels of infinity. So it would be destroying a multiverse that's one or two higher levels of infinity greater than a standard universe.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't watched the I haven't went over the feat in a while, so I
Okay.
could have been wrong about explaining it. But this video should explain it. Do you want me to send you the link because I
Yeah.
can't screen record the exact time?
Yeah, you can just send the link.
All right. So basically, it says it about 5 to 6 minutes.
Hey guys, Your Majesty back, King Bullet. A lot divided Champa and Beerus feet by 2. If you're dividing 5D power, it would still be 5D. It's kind of like dividing infinity, it can't really be done. Now, I'm not saying that these kind of characters have a destructive capacity to go and destroy 5D realms or something, because they obviously don't. And remember, they're not destroying it, they could like slightly affect it, if that makes sense, but they don't have a range. The only person who has a range to do this is potentially Zeno. Now, moving on to origin speed, it should be like MFTL+, which means massively faster than the speed of light, which means that is more than 1,000 times faster than the speed of light. It should be in the millions range, because we know that he kind of travels in acceleration mode to save Ilpio, and he's actually traveling to at least the closest solar system to him, and I think that's calculated around a few million times faster than the speed of light. But I will link that calculation down below if you don't understand it. So then he applies a 250,000 times multiplier, so a Jabong Chim, which does actually multiply his stats. So then alongside that multiplier, you could argue his speed is in the trillions. But to be honest, he's probably much higher than this. So if he can actually exist in 4D realms, like was suggested, then he could actually have like infinite speed, which is probably a better argument. So speed in Dragon Ball is even more simpler, I think. Because like essentially they're always doing beats that are insane. So we know even the shockwaves between like Beerus and Goku clashing are MFTL plus. So quintillions of times faster than the speed of light.
Okay.
If not infinite speed, because technically between each of the dimensions in the macrocosm is traveling between them, and the space between them is like a 4D construct holding it together. It's also consistent with them like shaking the
It's
by
basically
2.
saying how
If you're dividing 5D power, it would still be 5D. It's kind of like dividing infinity, it can't really be done. Now, I'm not saying that these kind of characters have a destructive capacity to go and destroy 5D realms or something, because they obviously don't. And remember, they're not destroying it, they could like slightly affect it, if that makes sense, but they don't have a range. The only person who has a range to do this is potentially Zeno. Now, moving on to origin speed, it should be like MFTL+, which means massively faster than the speed of light, which means that is more than
Well,
a
he
thousand
said that
times faster.
Beerus and them don't have 5D power.
Second.
At like 513, he states that like 512, he states that Beerus and Chopper don't have 5D
Capacity
power.
to go and destroy 5D realms or something, because they obviously don't.
he
And
kinda
remember,
says
they're not
it's
destroying it, they
debatable,
could like slightly affect it. If that makes sense, but they don't have
Well,
the
he
range.
says,
The only
let me
person who has
just
the
get
range to
exactly
do
what he
this
says.
is potentially Zeno. Now, moving on to more.
Well, I don't know who he's referring to, because he says if you're dividing 5D power, it's still 5D. But then he says then he's saying these kind of characters don't have a destructive capacity of 5D. That's what he says in the next line. He says they
Wait,
can't
hold up.
destroy
Let me-
5D realms.
Let me watch it real quick.
Okay.
Basically, he was saying they don't have the range to destroy it, but affecting it, would equal to 5D or low
Okay.
complex.
Okay. All right. So yeah, if you're gonna put them put Goku at low complex, then I mean I can get Luke up to outer. Over here he states yeah, let me just try to do that then. Over here the father states in the first line, my children and I can manipulate the force like no other. And for reference, since he said that, that would include characters like the Bedlam spirits. And I'll just quickly try and find that. So here, one of the Bedlam, so these are the Bedlam spirits. I'm just uploading it now. That's probably quite a bad image. I don't know if you're going to be able to read that, but it says in another page of them, it says one of them right here invents mass, like the concept of form. She says, I've invented form. And then in another scan, there's where is it? Yeah, it's over there. In this top scan above here, she says that in the bottom frame, one of them says that they created anti-concepts, which I mean, I don't know what an anti-concept is, but it should be relative to what a concept is. So since they're creating concepts, that would put them at outerversal, because concepts themselves, according to Plato's theory of the forms, are outerversal. So
Okay.
yeah.
All
Then
right.
since yeah.
I'll have to get Goku. I'll have to try to get Goku to outerversal then. So I'll go find the scan, but Kid Goku, he broke through a manga panel. So basically, he
Okay.
affected the real world, and you could say this is an outerversal feat.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
go.
I don't really know how those work, but how those kind of feats work. But yeah, are you gonna get it, or
Say again.
are you gonna get the scan now?
Yeah, I'm getting this scan.
Okay, cool. And also just if you wanted more evidence of universal, I
No, I think you're good.
okay, because I'm just right here. It says that they are the son and daughter are all the personifications, which you could consider to be concepts. But yeah, so I see what you mean. He's like bouncing it off the top of the panel.
Yeah, and he like breaks through it.
Right, yeah. Huh. I mean, I don't really know how to quantify that.
So, honestly, it doesn't necessarily makes. I mean, it doesn't really make sense to me, but basically he transcended fiction. I guess this is a feat proving he transcends fiction. So that would be universal.
Yeah. I guess I could always just argue. I mean, I would argue that that's, I don't know, like a tuned force or I don't know,
A gag feat.
or just the artist's I don't know, just style. But yeah, I can't really claim that.
Like, what are you trying to argue?
I
You're
would argue that it's not really a feat at all because it's just the artist's style of writing it comically, you know?
um. I think I can prove it's not.
Yeah.
Um. Hold on. So basically, since not like since not all the panels are like that, where they have like a little he breaks through the panel, it's just in this particular panel or this particular page where he breaks through the panel. So you can't
Mhm.
really argue that like that's the artist's style.
Yeah, I guess. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, would you say are the like is a fourth wall break, um is that universal?
No, I wouldn't say a fourth wall break is universal because they're not actually escaping the fictional world, but he is because he's breaking through the fictional world.
Well, I mean, he's not really. I mean, it's just bouncing off the thing.
But you see
So,
like the little tear in the on the top of it, right?
yeah, I
Where the
guess.
lines don't connect anymore. That means he's like he ripped through it.
Hmm.
You could argue
Yeah.
that
I mean, I would
there's
still just argue that it's just a kind of fourth wall break, like Deadpool does. I mean, Deadpool's not universal, obviously. I just argue that it's something like that.
like how Psyche K kind of like talks to the
Yeah.
he, so you could argue that, but I'd say since he actually like breaks through, he's like transcending fiction by breaking through fiction into the real world. I'd say this is universal.
Hmm. I mean, even then, I don't think it would put him above Luke, but I don't know. I'd still kind of argue that this is uh I don't know the writer's interpretation or the artist's interpretation of a fourth wall break. Because I mean, being breaking the fourth wall means you're interpreting someone outside of fiction, right? You're interpreting someone in the real world and you're communicating with them. So,
Yeah, but like talking to someone in the real world would be different from literally breaking through the fictional world.
mm, yeah. Yeah, well, that's I don't know. That's a little bit weird. I don't really know
Yeah, it
how
is a
to
weird feed,
debunk
and
that or
it's
anything.
honestly desperate because, but
Yeah, I
like
mean,
this is
I don't honestly think Luke is rarely consistently universal, but it's fine. I mean, I think I've made my case there. I can't really do any more to debunk that. So, just yeah, I mean, I can't really do anything more there. So, just to move on, What resistance does your character have to illusions? And by the way, in Star Wars, you get different kinds of illusions. Like you obviously get internal illusions, which are telepathy, like controlling your mind. But then you also get physical ones that literally are outside, literally are illusions of light.
like after images.
No, like here, like they can actually trick senses.
Hmm. Okay, so he does have a to being controlled. He has a resistance to that. Vegeta has shown this. When he literally broke through Bobity's mind control by sheer will.
Hmm.
So I'd say he's resistant to mind control.
Okay, I mean,
Um
I can go back to that, but on the topic of external illusions that aren't actually affecting your mind, does he have any resistance to that?
so you'd have to explain it a little more.
Okay, so here, he formed an imaginary picture of the shadow's exterior and then expanded it. Yeah, so he literally he expanded it from his mind into like the physical world, and he showed Mara there, and she inspected the image, and she was like, "Yeah, okay, it looks good." And then he enlarged it over his ship, so it's literally like a hologram. I can get you the feat where it says it's not even like it can actually trick actual senses.
Well,
Let me just
Goku,
find that.
he's I can't really think of any feats to show that he's resistant. The best thing I got is him being able to see through after images.
Okay, like when someone's moving really fast.
Yeah, in creating after images, he's able to pick the real one through that.
Um, okay, like did like kind of like what the Flash does when the Flash creates different versions.
Say again.
Like what the Flash does when the Flash creates different versions.
Like after images.
Yes, kind of. But also, how does he sense which one is real?
I don't know. I guess he just gets lucky. He
I just say this
I
because
will. He definitely doesn't get
uh
lucky because he's done it multiple times. But I can't really like find the feeds for it because this is just off the top of my mind.
right.
From watching the show.
Well, just in case it's like a life force thing, like in Star Wars, you can sense people's life essence, right?
Yeah,
And
he can't he can sense people
yeah,
through
so
their
like
life force.
if that's what he's doing, like if he's sensing which one actually has a life essence, Luke can actually he can conceal that. Like he can conceal his own essence, his life force, so he wouldn't be detectable to people who have life sensitivity. Here's another one of it, where he and he does this on really high tier opponents.
Do you think enhanced senses will like could see through this? And
Well, um, I mean, visually, there wouldn't really be a difference unless he did it really sloppily, like if it wasn't a really good illusion. But I mean, it's tough. I would say that if he had time to actually focus, or if he had, like, if he wasn't exhausted, then he would be able to conjure an illusion that was realistic enough. And then Cloud himself. Like he'll be using this as just to throw him off during a fight. Like just throwing different illusions of himself at Goku just to trick him and get him off guard.
Okay.
So how good is Goku's enhanced sight?
Well, as a kid, even without like key training, Goku had exceptional senses that will allow him to locate small distant objects by tracking their smell. He can see clearly over long distances and track movements of others even in pitch black conditions by feeling vibrations in the air.
Okay, I don't really have anything that, yeah, because that might help. I mean, does he have to focus to do that? Because I'd say like
No.
if Luke actually used two versions of himself
I
and
wouldn't
like
say he
gave
has to
Goku
focus to
time
do that
to,
because he was able to do this without like key training just by before even like training to do this. So no, I wouldn't say he has to focus.
but like would it be something that he has to stop and then like inspect both of them to see which one's real,
No.
or is it something where you can just instantly figure it out?
I see I'm kind of like I don't really know Luke's illusions too well, but it's not like when Goku is able to sense stuff like this, he doesn't have to stop. But I don't know if
Okay.
he'll be able to do this for Luke's illusions.
Okay, so I mean the illusions they're basically holograms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically a trick of the light. So it pretty much only targets vision. I think he does have some kind of sense manipulation, but I can't really find it. So I can't say that he'd be able to trick like smell or hearing or something.
Oh yeah, he can also he can just detect people by just his natural senses, they're enhanced, and he also has key sensing where he can detect their intent. So like he could probably sense his intent to his like malicious intent to kill him. He could probably sense that.
Okay. Luke also has the form of he also has uh danger sensing.
Say again.
Okay. He also has danger sensing. I mean like intent. He can sense your intent without going into your mind. So yeah, just that. Also here's the definition of his illusions.
Okay.
I'm just sending it now. Here we go.
Doppelganger permits a Jedi to create a sword lived duplicate of himself or so that is visually if they don't have if the clones that if they don't have like life force, Goku will easily be able to
Sense them, yeah. But that's the thing. Luke will be able to conceal his own life force.
okay, do these clones have malicious intent just as Luke would?
Well, I mean, they're not sentient, but
Say again.
they're not sentient. Like they're not alive. They wouldn't have any form of intent.
Yeah,
But
so Goku would be able to sense Luke's intent, and I feel like he'd be able to pick out the real one by that. And
okay, I'm just gonna see if I have something on that. But yeah, you can carry on.
even if that wouldn't work, couldn't Goku just quickly destroy all the clones?
Destroy.
Yeah.
Oh well, they're not physical.
Oh,
Oh no, sorry. These ones are. Sorry, yeah, they are. But
oh,
he can also create ones that aren't real. So that doppelganger technique literally creates a clone of yourself, but it's roughly like it's a lot weaker than yourself. So yeah, he would be able to destroy it pretty quickly. But for his illusions,
for the
that I
illusions,
posted earlier, they're not a real thing at all. Like they're
he's
not
shown.
physical.
So Goku has shown resistance to illusions, and I feel like he'd be able to see through um the clones that are fake.
Mm. So just about this doppelganger thing, this one they would have killing intent because they are actual they're physical things. They are actual living clones of himself. But
Oh, they're actually like living. They
yeah, but they're very weak. Like I don't think that'd be a problem to Goku.
so they'd be basically be like Naruto's shadow clones, correct?
Pretty much, yeah. But he
Okay,
doesn't use that technique very often.
I think Goku could just get through those quickly.
Yeah. And I wouldn't disagree with that, but he more often uses the ones that aren't real, that are just tricks of they're just illusions. They're basically
Oh,
holograms.
and the fake ones, I think Goku can see through that.
Hmm.
Goku
Okay.
also has he has solar flare which blinds his opponent, but
Okay.
there is a weakness to that. It's only as fast as light, so Luke should easily be able to outrun it if he sees it coming.
Yeah. No, he also yeah, he'd be able to do that, but also if you want more evidence that it wouldn't really work, he has this, which he can resist stun. So like if he's being stunned, he can resist it. And then also, let me just get you this one more. Here he gets blinded, and this is when he had a blue lightsaber, which is when he was really weak. Like he literally had like one lesson of training or whatever. And
Okay.
so with so after he was blinded, he continued to fight to show you. So yeah, if your guy I think he'll just be able to neg it or dodge the things because he can resist the stun. But if he somehow is blinded, he'll be able to fight through it pretty
Do,
easily.
do you think he'll fight through it with the same like skills he would fight through if he were not blind? Like
Well, this
um
version of him was like really, really weak. Like you can tell because he has his blue lightsaber still and he's wearing his old clothes. That this was when he had like 3 lessons and he was still beating all these soldiers. So I'd say he'd be in his most powerful, in his grandmaster form, he'd definitely be able to just neg it.
so
Like he'd be able to fight with the same finesse if it
okay.
worked at all. That is because you would have the precognition to know where it is, and it'd also have the he'd probably be able to just resist it in general.
Uh, so that feat wouldn't really be useful.
I'm just seeing
Um
if I have anything.
Goku also has very limited power nullification. He
Okay.
nullified Jiren's ki blast, but
Oh, like blasts.
yeah,
Okay.
it's limited. It's not like a solid thing he can really rely on.
Yeah, I mean, Luke's fighting style isn't heavily blast resistant, dependent. Like he doesn't really use blasts that often. He does have green lightning which he can fire, but he mainly just uses his lightsaber.
Okay. Would you say Goku has the range advantage on him?
Um, I would, but then because of Luke's flow walking, which is basically ultra instinct teleportation, I'd say that he's going to be able to bring it in close to fight Goku.
Okay.
Do you want to go over skill?
Yeah.
Sure. So I'm just going to see what I have for skill. So, yeah, do you want to go first or should I?
Okay, so Goku has been training since he was a kid, and he's 46 now. He's been training in martial arts.
Right.
With Roshi, one of the most skilled martial arts teacher in the world at that time. He was also trained by Wiz, an angel stronger than God of Destructions.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that's all I really got.
Okay. So I'm just going to send a whole bunch of stuff on Luke's skill. So his son, Ben Skywalker, he stated that he's the greatest duelist in the galaxy. Just there. And so just to do some basic Star Wars scaling for you. So you say you watched the Clone Wars, right?
Yes.
So there was a statement by the choreographer, like the person who did the fight scenes for the movies, and he stated that Anakin Skywalker was he was like a he ranked all the characters from 1 to 9, and he said that Anakin would have been a 9 in terms of skill. So he would have been one of the most skilled characters in the prequel trilogy, like the in the earlier in the during the Clone Wars, right? He would have been one of the most skilled Jedi. And then when he became Darth Vader, when Anakin became Darth Vader, he became drastically more powerful. So even when he was still Anakin, he would have been on par with like Count Dooku and Mace Windu, probably, possibly even Yoda. And then when he became Darth Vader, he got a lot more experienced, a lot more powerful. He probably would have been on par with Yoda and probably would have been the most skilled duelist in the galaxy. He probably would have been the most skilled duelist in the galaxy. And then, so Luke beat Vader, and this was a weaker Luke. This was when he was round about like 20 or so, maybe like 30, like no, like 25. Yeah, he beats Luke. He beats his, Darth Vader, who at that point would have been the most skilled duelist in Star Wars. And yeah, and he beats him when he was a lot weaker, like a lot younger. And he's now the version I'm using is like 60 or so. So or maybe like 50 or something. So he's much older and much more experienced and much more powerful. And he also, yeah, I mean, even when he was really young, like even when he was sparring and still training, he was actually able to affect Yoda with his like right here. He actually catches Yoda off guard in a sparring session, which is pretty significant considering this was a very young version of Luke. He actually
Okay.
managed to catch him off guard. And so, yeah, I'd just say that he's by far the most powerful, the most skilled Jedi that the galaxy has ever seen. So, yeah.
So in DBZ, it's hard to scale skill because everyone in the verse who fights are extremely skilled except for Zeno because he doesn't. But so usually the only way you would win fights is being more powerful. Skill
Yeah.
does, like, since there's so much past their martial arts and they're now into power, it's hard to scale their skill.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, but that's where I think it would favor Luke because as I've proved, he's not going to keep it as a ranged battle because he doesn't really use ranged attacks. Like if Goku was able to keep it at a ranged battle, he would have the advantage in skill. But I'm going to say that with Luke's teleportation, he's definitely going to bring it in close and he's going to make it a close-up battle. And yeah, and I've proved that he's probably drastically more skilled than Goku in close combat.
If I'm being honest, I actually wouldn't say that. Um, I said it was hard to scale Goku's skill, but he is still extremely skilled, as he's been training in martial arts for at least 20 years. And
Yeah,
then he also trains in his spare time, but like I'm talking about like intense training. He
yeah,
trained for martial arts in the first 20 years of his life. Um, he was stronger. He was actually more skilled than Roshi was at a kid at like age 12. He was more skilled than Roshi, who was
yeah.
known as one of the world's best martial artists. And then he got much better as he progressed as an adult.
Yeah.
Oh, and
So,
I also want to go over another one of Goku's hacks. So I don't know if this should be allowed, but Goku basically has this button that Zeno gave him, and he can just summon Zeno by pressing the button.
I mean, that would count as outside help.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Luke's not going to stand a chance against Zeno. I don't think.
Yeah, that it's really it shouldn't be allowed. I was just making sure.
Yeah. So just this thing that I posted, this was just him getting beaten up by Darth Vader. And that was him when he was still using a blue lightsaber. That's just how weak he was back then. And a lot of these feats are still from that time period. And he got obviously drastically more powerful. So yeah, my basic argument for skill was that he scales above characters like Yoda and Vader, who were the most skilled duelists in the galaxy, and he's grown drastically more powerful since then. Like that was when he was like master level. Now he's the grandmaster, and he's far
Okay,
superior to
but
that.
what if Goku is able to separate Luke from his lightsaber? Then Luke will be at a big disadvantage because Goku would definitely take that in hand to hand.
Okay. Luke does have some hand-to-hand feats, but mainly from his lightsaber. So he fought the being Abeloth beyond shadows, and when he fought her, he didn't have his lightsaber on him. So he's not complete fodder without his lightsaber. Um, I have one more thing that justifies why Goku probably won't be able to separate him from his lightsaber. So here, yeah, he has the ability called Fold Space, um, where he can teleport other things. Right here.
Okay, wait, hold up. I'm gonna go on mute for a second. My
Okay.
parents just woke up, so I'm gonna move to the basement so they can't
Okay,
hear me.
cool. Sure.
All right. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, so I just posted this thing. Here he fights in a unarmed contest, and he says that he knows more styles than his opponent had fingers or toes. So even in an unarmed battle, he's still very skilled. But as I demonstrated, he can teleport his lightsaber to himself. So I don't think he's gonna ever be disconnected from it.
Okay. Um, I think actually Goku could keep it at a distance, but he'd have to run a lot. And he also has instant transmission, which is and he can teleport with that.
Mm. But yeah, but with Luke's his flow walking teleportation, it's like very much mastered Ultra Instinct kind of vibe. Like he's definitely going to the Force is just going to teleport him to Goku when it senses that Goku's trying to get away or keep it ranged. So yeah, I don't think I think he's definitely going to have the abilities and the skill to bring it up close.
Okay. Um, so you're going over how Luke should be more skilled, close up.
Yeah.
I still say that's honestly debatable, but I feel like Luke should take it in close, but Goku can still hang in there, and even when they should get like separated every once in a while, and Goku should be able to land at least a few ranged attacks from being
Yeah.
separated.
Mm. I mean, Luke does also have he also has energy like dissipations and absorptions. So he's not complete fodder when it comes to ranged energy attacks. Like he
So
could
he can basically negate energy attacks.
well, not all, but he will be negating quite a lot. Or just dodging and then bring it up close. Like that's what I mainly think is going to be happening. Like he might Goku might be catching him sometimes, but most of the time he's going to be trying to bring it up close.
Yeah, I feel like that's more realistic. But
Yeah.
I'm saying, but they're gonna be like every time they're gonna like launch each other from powerful attacks. So Goku should be able to at least let off a few, some ranged attacks from that.
Yeah. No, I don't deny it. He probably will be able to get in some ranged attacks. But I think for the most part, I think most of the battle is going to be taking place close up.
Okay, should we go over durability as well, or did we
Um
already go through that with AP?
mine's pretty much equal to AP, except that Luke has very high pain tolerance.
Oh yeah,
Um
and Goku he has low to mid regeneration. He can heal himself with his God key.
okay.
So this isn't
So,
he wouldn't be able to heal like an arm getting cut off, but he has like he can heal injuries.
okay, like how bad, to what extent?
Um he'll be able to so Luke's lightsaber shouldn't be able to like pierce through Goku. As
Yeah.
he's shown, he's durable to piercing attacks. But it definitely will hurt him on
I
a
mean,
non-piercing level or a non-penetrative level.
yeah, I mean, it has the same. It's not like a sword. Like it does have the same attack, because I showed it. It's a reflection of who he is in the Force. Like it's a
Okay.
reflection of his Force essence. So it would have his level of AP would be carried in his lightsaber. That makes sense.
But do you think it will be able to pierce through him though?
I think it probably would. Because I mean, has Goku shown the ability to resist energy attack? Like what to what degree has he shown piercing resistance?
Well, he's actually shown. Oh, okay. So he's easily been able to block bullets even since he was like a very small child. Even before he was trained in martial arts, he was able. He was bullets were completely ineffective to him,
Hmm.
and he has been shown um that he can be hurt by piercing attacks, but that's only when he's completely off guard, which is very unlikely to happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, bullets and like swords and knives and all that are very different to a lightsaber. Like, firstly, obviously, a lightsaber is just scales above an ordinary weapon, but
Yeah.
as I demonstrated, it does have a degree of like astral power, I guess. But like it carries like his force essence, so it's as powerful as
I
like a
know
force blast or something.
it's as powerful as him in a non-penetrative, like in a like. I, I think the sword will be able to hurt him, like even severely, um, in a non-penetrative way. But like, I don't think it will be able to penetrate through him because Goku was shown with his. So Goku basically he uses ki to amp his durability, and
Yeah.
I think like he won't be able to get pierced like straight stabbed through, but I think like the lightsaber will definitely like hurt him in a non-penetrative way.
I mean, Goku Black uses like energy weapons, doesn't he?
Yeah, he uses a scythe made out of ki.
How resistant would Goku be to that?
Goku's never been like it never pierced straight through Goku to the point where like there was a hole in him. Like it was, yeah, like it never
But like, what happened when Goku Black attacked him with that?
it basically just added more range into his melee attacks. It never pierced through him. Like it
Like,
hurt him, but
if he hit Goku with that, would it just like knock Goku back?
yeah, it would just knock Goku back. It wouldn't pierce through him.
But I mean, there are examples of it breaking through him, right?
I don't think there was any examples of. See, he can be. There are examples of him getting actually pierced through, but that was only when he was off guard. And when he's off guard, his durability lowers a lot because he turns his ki amping durability down. So basically, he has a what's it called, a force field of ki around him.
Yeah,
But when he's off guard, he turns that ki off. He'd probably never do
right.
that in a fight against Luke.
I mean, that's the same as Luke. Luke also has like a force shield made out of force energy around him. But like, he obviously doesn't use that all the time. Like, would this have been an example of him being off guard?
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Goku definitely wasn't. Yeah, I don't think Goku was off guard with this. Um, I don't know if ki is surrounding his body right here though.
Oh, okay.
He usually fights with ki. He could have been hurt so badly that he just his ki like turned like his ki around his body just was not like
Didn't have the energy to do
he
it.
wasn't yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think I still made the point that it's even if it doesn't necessarily pierce through his shield, it'll still hurt him, right?
Yeah, it'll definitely hurt him.
Yeah. Okay.
I just don't know if it would pierce through him as like the same way if I were fighting another human who had a sword.
Yeah. So, I mean, just this thing I posted above, this is basically just control over like your body. So this is like a very minor healing, a very minor form of healing. It's actually mainly just endurance, to be honest.
Wait, hold up. It's getting hard to hear you, so I'm gonna connect my AirPods.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
I can hear.
So,
So
Luke doesn't really have a big healing factor, but pretty much all that he does is very endurance driven. Like he has a lot of endurance, but he doesn't have a notable healing factor anywhere near Goku.
okay. So do you need any like proof of Goku being able to heal himself or no?
Well, I just need to know to what degree is it.
It's definitely not hold on. You see where Goku got stabbed by Black, right?
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't be able to just heal himself instantly where to the hole would just completely close.
Hmm.
Hold on, let me try to find feats of Goku regenerating. I'm about to send you. Well, hold up, I gotta get it real fast.
So just by finding that, in this scan right in this excerpt from a book right here, it states that there was a fist-sized hole through his chest and like a dozen other smaller wounds, and he was still able to fight. Like he didn't heal from it, but he pretty much just negged it in terms of pain tolerance.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. So if Luke's arm were to be cut off, there would be no way he would be getting that arm back, correct?
No, like
Okay.
you wouldn't get it on back.
So that's basically what I was going about with the destructor disc. It completely cuts through its opponent, and even if it does miss, it's like a homing missile,
All
but
right,
like
okay.
the user controls it. It doesn't have its own like mind.
So I think that would the fact that it's controlled by Goku would probably advantage Luke to some degree because he would be able to see that weakness using the Shatter Point ability, and he would probably just go for Luke in that time while it's chasing him.
Is the Shadow Point ability kind of is it like a transformation or is it like an ability that he'd have to
No,
activate?
it's just a mental thing. Like he
Okay,
just
so it's like always on. It's not something he has to activate.
well he doesn't have to like activate it. He just has to use it. Like he just has to think about it.
Okay, so
So
he can't
it's all
just
mental.
so it's just not it's not like something that I can't explain it. It's not like it will automatically be able to sense weaknesses and stuff unless
No, not
he
unless
thinks
he
about it.
uses it. Not
Okay.
unless he thinks about it, yeah.
Do you think Luke would have enough time to react then?
Well,
Because
I mean, the thing about timing to react, his precognition is, as I said, it's really good. So he's going to be able to either sense that like an attack is coming, and then once the thing's fired, he won't be like caught off guard by it. Like he'll know that it's coming for him, and then when it's fired, he'll use shadow points to detect that he needs to go for Goku.
Oh god. Even though Goku can bring it back if he does miss, it's out of character for him. If he does use it, which he rarely does, he'll just use it really quickly and he won't like use it again. Or he won't like be focused on trying to hit his opponent with it.
Oh, right, okay.
Even if he does miss, I wouldn't say he would be focused on trying to hit his opponent after he misses.
Okay. And like when he's using it, it's not like does he have to focus to use it?
Not really. It's he'd probably stop for like a quick second just to
Yeah.
bring it out, but it's not like he has to like meditate or anything.
Yeah, but like if he
the only tech that Goku has that he really has to stop to do it is the Spirit Bomb, and that takes about like 5 minutes. Honestly, it's a very long attack, and he probably won't be
yeah,
able to
okay.
pull it off.
Yeah. So so if say he did use one of these weapons against Luke, like if he used that move and then Luke dodged it and then Luke started coming for Goku, would Goku then like just abandon the attack and fight Luke, or would he be able to fight Luke and keep the attack coming?
No, he wouldn't be able to keep the attack coming. He would just miss, and then he'd focus on Luke.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's pretty much all I have. Do you want to maybe go to conclusions now, unless you have anything else you want to bring up?
did you have a debunk on, or not a debunk, a counter to Goku's ceiling?
Oh, I mean, I don't really. That's the one thing I probably don't have a good counter for, apart from I'm just gonna say that I'm just gonna hope that he'd be able to use his precognition or his speed to just get out of the way.
Okay. Oh yeah, and about the Goku healing himself, I had to find that real quick. Okay, so his regeneration isn't that great. It wouldn't heal like or at least it hasn't shown being able to heal like a really bad wound, like a really bad piercing wound at least. He can definitely recover from non-penetrative attacks pretty easily.
Okay.
But if it's like a if he like got his arm cut off, he definitely wouldn't be able to reattach it.
Yeah. So, I think that the lightsaber probably will be able to do physical damage because, I mean, if Luke's fighting him the whole time, I think if Luke's bringing it in close the whole time, I don't know if Goku will his key shield will it be up the whole time, or is it possible for him to like wear down on it? Did you hear that?
Hello?
Yeah. Did you hear what I said?
No, I did not. The audio like cut out.
Okay. So basically, If say Luke's bringing it in close the whole time, will Goku's shield, will it be up the entire time, or will Luke be able to wear down on it?
I actually don't know about that. I'm pretty sure Goku would have to turn it off himself. I'm pretty sure he'd be able to have it on the whole time, but it's not like the shield is like invincible. You can definitely get through the shield actually pretty easily if you're relative to strength. It
Okay.
mainly it really just protects him from penetrative attacks, like piercing attacks.
Okay. So yeah, so do you want to go to conclusions now?
Yes, we can.
So do you want to give yours or should I?
You can go first.
Okay. So let me just see everything. So I think I brought up, I mean, I think we both managed to get our characters to Outversal, albeit a little bit of a highball, but whatever. So I think, yeah, so I think I successfully proved that. I think that I proved that my character has firstly the teleportation and the precognition and the shadow points to just have the overall advantage on Goku in terms of knowing how to fight him, like knowing to fight him close up instead of at a ranged distance. Um, yeah, and I think Luke's going to have I've proven that he's extremely skilled, and at this point, due to his age and his experience, he's going to be more skilled than Goku, especially in close quarters. And then I think his endurance is definitely going to be able to hold up against Goku and possibly outwear him. Like with his refilling abilities, he's going to be able to refill all his energy, and his pain tolerance is also really ridiculous. And yeah, he's been able to heal. I mean, not heal, just fight through having a hole blasted through him. So yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. I think they were definitely equal in physical stats like speed and AP and durability. Luke probably does have a higher pain tolerance, but Goku does have better regeneration, as Luke doesn't have any regeneration at all. I think Goku's hacks and abilities are slightly better than Luke's, and I don't and there's some abilities that Goku has that Luke just doesn't have a clear counter to. And yeah, that's basically it.